Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hastamalakiyam. In this word, there are two words. Hasta means hand, Amalaka means a fruit called as Amalaki fruit. If we are to say in today's language, we will say Hasta Apalakiyam. If there is an apple in our hand, we have no doubt. Yes, it is apple. In the time of Bhagavan Shankaracharya, this Amla was most respected fruit. You know why this Amla is respected fruit? Because it remains on the tree for the longest period of time. All other fruits, they are separated from the plant or the tree the moment they are ripe. And they don't stay more than maybe a few weeks. But this fruit remains on the tree for a very long time. So, this Amalakiyam, when a fruit is on our hand, we have no doubt about it. In the same manner, this particular disciple of Bhagavan Shankaracharya, the story goes that there was a Brahmin. This story is already in your write-up. You don't read, listen to me. So, he was in that village somewhere, and Sri Bali is the name of the village, and there was a very holy, pious couple, and late in their life they were blessed with a son, and he was, from our standpoint, dumb. Not talking, not interested in playing. When other children will come and beat him, he will just keep quiet, he won't retaliate. Whether food is given to him or not, it makes no difference. In short, from our standpoint, he was dumb. And he was never talking one word. So when his parents saw that this boy is about 7 years old, 8 years old, and yet he is not responding to anything, what is wrong? So if we were there, we will take him to the psychiatrist and all that. But those parents, they heard when Bhagavan Shankara went to Mukambika Devi's temple that there is a great master who has come. So let us take his blessings. See, that is why in India the profession of psychiatrist is not very popular, because that is our field. So when these parents reached him and told this is what happened, that he doesn't talk, he is dumb, something is wrong, please help us. And out of great love, compassion for the child, Bhagavan Shankara asked him about himself, as to who are you, my dear? This is what Bhagavan Shankara asks, and that is put in a poetic form. Kastvam shisho kasya kutosi ganta kim namate tvam kuta agatosi etanmayoktam vadachar bhakatvam matpritaye priti vivardhanosi. This is not in your printout, so don't struggle. Not in the printout. So the teacher asked this boy, my dear boy, who are you? What is your name? Where from you are come? And please tell me, I am very keen. I want to know about you. Because I love you. Friends, when I love you, this word carries a meaning. It touches the heart. We say 101 times, I love you, okay, bye. This kind of loving, okay, bye, is only a default setting. It has no meaning whatsoever. I'll tell you one example about love, what it means. Once I was coming from probably some country in the western area to India. So many people came to leave me on the airport to see that I don't come back. That's why so many of them come, to see that I get into the flight, definitely. And there was one lady, and when I was leaving, she became very emotional, came and hugged and cried, Swamiji, don't go, and if you are going, come very quickly and all that. I said, oh, Koyamma, I'll definitely come, very fast I'll come. And when there were some, Westerners, they saw all that, and when I went and sat inside, one, I don't know whether to call couple or not, but a man and old, both of them old. I was having my window seat, the lady sat next to me and the man sat next to her. So she asked me, hey, so many people came to see you off and they were so crying and all that. What do you do? I said, I love. When I said I love, that lady was in tears. How can you so casually love anybody? See, if Bhagavan Shankaracharya said that, my dear child, I love you, please tell me, I want to know about you. When the words carry meaning, they touch the heart. It is something like this. Take a paper, on that paper write stone, S-T-O-N-E, and make a ball of that paper on which stone is written and hit me. Nothing will happen to me. Now I do another experiment. I write on a paper stone and also add the meaning of the word into that paper and make a ball and hit you now, not me. See what will happen. When the words carry meaning, then alone they become a source of changing our inside. See? Therefore, when Bhagavan Shankaracharya said that Mat Pritaye Priti Vivardhanosi, for my sake, my dear, I really want to know about you. Please tell, who are you? See? And when this was said, that child who never spoke for 7 years in his life, 8 years in his life, he never responded to anything. Just keep quiet. He started, Naham manusho na cha deva yaksho na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudraha na brahmachari na gruhi vanastho bhikshur na chaham nijabodha rupaha. And that boy said, Naham manushyaha, I am not a human being. Nacha deva yaksho, nor I am God or yaksha. These are the different levels of life. Like we have got, viruses, bacteria, mosquitoes, and then plants and herbivores and all kinds of things. The different qualities of life. That is yaksha. So neither I am a man, nor the gods, nor the yaksha. Then na brahmanaha, neither I am the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the 4 varnas, and na brahmachari, na gruhi vanasthaha, na bhikshuhu. Nor I am the brahmachari student or married grahastha or vanaprastha who has retired from life, or bhikshuhu or a sannyasi. I am none of them. Then who am I? Nijabodha rupaha. I am absolute awareness. Now see friends, this particular text, Hastamalakiyam, is called as Hastamalakiyam when this child spoke for the first time to the teacher in his presence. Then Bhagwan Shankaracharya told his parents, now he is mine, you give him to me. And then the child started with Bhagwan Shankaracharya, and he named him at that time Hastamalaka. Hastamalaka means he is so distinctly clear about his identity. He has no doubt whatsoever. See friends, all the problems of our life begin only with the identity crisis. If we have studied Bhagavad Gita, and if we got the message of Bhagavad Gita, that the real problem of life is neither husband, wife, children, government, nothing. The real problem of life is our identity crisis as to what we are. See, in Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter, war was not a problem for Arjuna. That was his profession. See, his problem was whether I am a warrior or a disciple or a grandson. That was his problem. See friends, and after he heard the whole Bhagavad Gita, next 17 chapters, he did not do Karma Yoga. He did not do Ashtanga Yoga. He did not do devotion. And he did not study scriptures. See, then what happened? Only one thing. At the end he says, "O teacher, I have corrected my identity crisis." Friends, which father doesn't know what is his duty? Which son doesn't know what is his duty towards the parents? Which teacher doesn't know what is his duty towards the student? As regard the knowledge about the duties is concerned, nobody lacks. Everybody knows. Then where is the problem? The problem is, for a moment there is identity crisis as to who am I at the given moment of time. And this identity crisis comes like an attack, aveg, for a very short moment. And it is enough to create a tremendous damage. Like when the accidents happen, the driver loses his alertness only for a fraction of a moment, but that is enough. In the same manner, what is most important for every one of us is this: we have to establish our correct identity. With that identity, play the game of life. See? And this identity was clear to this young child. As clear as if somebody has kept an apple in my hand, then I have no doubt that it is an apple. In the same manner, he had a doubtless understanding about his identity. Nijabodha rupaha aham. I am absolute awareness. See? Now, what is the meaning of absolute awareness? Then what is the place for the last life, this life, next life? Then what is the place for karma? What is the place for sin and merit? What is the place for going to hell and heaven? See, this has to be completely understood, analyzed and discarded. Then alone we will be able to abide in the absolute. It is for this purpose that this text is required to be studied. Otherwise, whole life we remain in the relative world. Please remember one important thing. Whether we are human beings and under the influence of lust, or there is a dog who is under the influence of lust, or there is a mosquito who is under the influence of lust, or there are gods who are under the influence of lust. It is the same principle of lust which is expressing through all the bodies. See? Therefore he says, I am neither the god nor the yaksha. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, some stories come. One of the stories like this. This Kubera is supposed to be the chief of the wealth. Kubera. He had two sons. And these two sons, being the sons of the very rich person, they were behaving terribly notoriously, to such an extent that they were drunk and they were without clothes and they were having affair on the roadside ponds and all kinds of things. And that time when Naradji is coming, they make fun of Naradji. And then Naradji curses them. You are worse than animals. Therefore, you will be born as trees. And then they are born as trees. And then when Bhagavan Krishna takes the avatar, then these two trees are, broken and the yakshas go back to their world. Now this story, what we have to understand is from our sadhana point of view. See, if we have any trace of any desire, we are in the relative world. Remaining in the relative world is samsara. Now what is the relative world? Birth, death, health, disease. See, I versus you, rich versus poor, achievement versus failure. These all belong to this relative world. And in this relative world only, there is a place for good and bad. See, when before independence in India, people used to blow up the railway bridges and kill the government British officers, it was considered as an act of patriotism. Today, when the same act is done, it is considered as an act of terrorism. See. So what is the standpoint that we take determines whether something is good or bad. Therefore, friends, in this relative world, there is no worth wasting our life and time unless we enter the absolute abode where all relativity is just an appearance. Conditioned expression of space is called as north, east, west, south. Without the conditioning of the sun, there cannot be establishment of the east. And after the east is established, then comes the west, then comes the north, then comes the south. See, just imagine you go away from the earth and the sun. Then which is the north, which is the south? So, in the space, these four directions are only in relation to each other. The reality is the space, not the directions. In the same manner, when our attention is on this one common platform, which is supporting the total relativity and remains uninfluenced by any relative factor, like for the space, east is not holy and west is not unholy. See, in the eastern world, it is not that there is never a sunset. And in the western world, it is not that there is never sunrise. This is all only imagination. Somebody told that Cherrapunji is a place which is the most highly precipitating rains. But if you go to Cherrapunji, it is not true. I had gone there. It is not true. Therefore, friends, we have to get out of this relative existence. And how the relative existence begins? Only by one factor. And one factor is desire, desire, desire. See? Desireless existence is living in God. And we do that every day when we are in deep sleep. We don't carry any load of desire. See, the other day there was some small child. I went to their house and I said, "Hey, where is my child? Swamiji, please don't go, he's sleeping." I said, "No, I have to go and kiss him. I can't hold myself now, please." So when I went, that mother came and pulled me back. "Swamiji, please don't." I said, "See how sweet he is looking, I can't stop." "Swamiji, he looks sweet when he's sleeping. The moment he's awake, he's a Rakshasa. Please don't, let him sleep." That time, he is nobody. See, friends. And therefore, here he had this clear understanding that aham nijabodha rupaha. See, on this we spend our whole life. I'll give you few techniques now and then when we go through. You will see, if you follow those techniques, we don't have to do meditation. See, meditation will happen. Nay, you will live 24 hours in meditation. See, then there won't be silent suffering in the darkness. Many people, when they do meditation, they switch off all the lights in the pitch darkness, as if meditation is a sinful act, should be done only in the darkness. See? Therefore, nijabodha rupaha, we have to correct this identity crisis. So when this child was named as Hastamalaka and he walked with his guru, Bhagwan Shankaracharya, then other disciples saw this child. How come he is like this? We are constantly, samprapte sannihite kale, nahi rakshati dukrum karane. We are spending so much of time in studying Sanskrit, Rama Ramana, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramabhihi. No, Ramaihi. But why Akaranta, Anekvachan, the third case is Aihi and other is Bhihi? What is the reason? We get disgusted about it. And this child, how come? Right from day one, he is abiding in the Absolute. So Bhagwan Shankaracharya tells, this child was 2 years of age or even less. His mother went to the Ganges for taking bath. See, I have taken one picture where buffaloes are taking bath in a big pond. So when somebody was seeing my camera, "Swamiji, what is this?" I said, "This is a buffalo swimming pool." Buffalo swimming pool? I said, "Yes. In India, human beings take bath in the river, and in the swimming pool, buffaloes take bath." See? So his mother had gone to take bath in the river, and this child was there. So there was one Mahatma sitting there. She said, "Mahatmaji, please take care of my child. I finished my bath and come back." Mahatma did not even say yes or no. He simply looked at her and again got lost. When he got lost, the child slowly walked, went and fell in the river and drowned. And when the mother came, what happened? The child is no more there. So the child was brought out of the river. And then she started crying, "I left my child with your care and what you have done." And that Mahatma saw the pangs of pain the mother was going through. And that very moment, he left his body and entered the body of that child. See? And then onwards, it was this great master who has, like changing the clothes, had the freedom And that is why he was so much established in the truth. So, this great disciple, he started telling as to who is he and what is the meaning of Nija Bodha Rupaha. Before we go, this word will come number of times. So I will tell you one basic difference in two words. One is called as Jnanam, knowledge, and second is called as Bodha, experience. Knowledge and experience have got a different quality. As regard the knowledge is concerned, there is a possibility of forgetting. See, if you have, suppose, studied in your childhood something, like what you call those tables. So, if we are not using it again and again, then we forget them, because that was remembered by the mind. So, it was a knowledge gained through the agency of mind. And that experience, like the experience we had, that in the childhood, if we touch fire, we get burnt. Now, this experience is never lost. Or, if we have learned swimming, we don't learn swimming through mind. Think. We don't prepare notes. First, right hand up. Then, right leg down. And then, nose goes below the water. See? Nobody learns swimming by writing notes or by understanding. And after you learn swimming only once in your life, you will never forget it. What is the reason? Because we don't learn through the mind. Mind it. And therefore, when he says Nijabodha Rupaha, he was not talking the information gathered from the sources. Google Brahman. It was not the downloaded, information. It was uploaded. It was not downloaded. Therefore, Bodha means experience. So we have to, in all these 2 days, today and tomorrow, focus our attention more on our experience than on logic, reason and understanding. Don't try to understand anything. See, Amrita Anubhava is one of the most wonderful texts written by Bhagavan Santa Gyaneshwar. And when I started for the first time in, probably first or second time in Bombay, so all the people came and sat. And it started like this. Please don't try to understand anything. Come here unprepared, empty. Simply listen. And after the talk is over, get away. Don't bother to understand even one word. See, be very attentive. What do we understand about how the Tylenol or the paracetamol works in our body? We don't understand, but it works in the same manner. Just let us make ourselves available and the experience will start surfacing. The moment the curtain of thought, logic, reason comes between us and our essential nature, we are far away thrown. See? And therefore, Nija Bodha Rupaha, I am the absolute awareness. There is no doubt whatsoever. Now, the student, he starts telling one by one. He says, Nimittam manaschakshuradi pravruttau nirasta khilopadirākāsha kalpaha रविर्लोक चेष्टा निमित्तम यथा यहा सनित्योपलब्धि स्वरूपोहमात्मा. Now this verse is there, you must have seen it, but you need not worry. मिल गई. मनश्चक्षुरादि प्रवृत्तौ निमित्तम अहम अस्मि. This is how the sentence goes. I am. Who am I? Manaha chakshu adi pravruttau nimittam. It is in my presence that the eyes start seeing. It is in my presence that the mind starts understanding. See? Pravruttau nimittam. I am the nimitta. What is the meaning of nimitta? Nimitta means an excuse. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells Arjun, "Hey Arjun Singh, I'll tell you a secret." What is that? I have already killed all these people on the battlefield in anticipation. You have to simply take the credit free. You don't have to do anything. See? Nimitta matra bhavasavvyasachin. Be very attentive. When we live at the level of the mind, our area of understanding is limited. And when we live as consciousness, our area transcends the 3 periods of time. Take an example. Once I was sitting on the tree. Don't ask me where and how I climbed. It is none of your business. So once I was sitting on the top of the tree and nothing to do, nowhere to go. This is the principle of my life. So I was sitting over there. And there was one villager below that tree, and it was becoming evening, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5. No transport coming, poor fellow. And therefore he started, "Oh God, please send at least a bullock cart, something or the other, so I can go home. I can't walk such a long distance and I got some bag to carry. Oh God, please do something." So when he was saying all these things, I was hearing him and I was on the top of the tree and I saw one bullock cart coming from a distance. That bullock cart, this person could not see. Because I was on the top of the tree, I could see that bullock cart. So I said, "My dear child." So he looked up. God started speaking. "A bullock cart will come. It has a white and a black bull. And the cart driver is having a green kind of a turban on his head. It will be carrying a load of grass. And you ask him, and he shall give you the lift." Oh. That was actually, after eating too much, it just stopped. After that was over. So he was waiting, ram, 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 ram. After 1 hour, that bullock cart came. God has answered my prayers. He sat in the bullock cart, went to his village. Do you think he'll keep quiet? Below that tree I stood, and God revealed me the presence. So all the villagers came to the tree. And they started, "Where is it?" And I was up there. "Oh, God is sitting there. Pull me down." And then they put me in a nice palanquin, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai, Ram Krishna Hari, Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hari, Ram Krishna Hari. Free me, I got everything. See, be very attentive. What was a future for the man below the tree was a present for me who was on the tree, is it not? When we live as mind, our knowledge is limited. But when we live as consciousness, we go beyond the limits of the mind. And when we go beyond the limits of the mind, then there is no cause, there is no effect, there is no reason, there is no logic. Living in this absolute awareness is effortless. The moment we put efforts, we reduce to the level of the mind. In being, there are no efforts. The moment we start becoming somebody, nothing but effort starts surfacing in our life. And therefore, we get tired. See? Therefore, friends, when the student says here that nimittam manas chakshuradi pravruttau, I am the force behind all these gadgets which are functioning. See? Behind both the bulbs, the bulb giving the light and a fuse bulb, behind both of them, there is electricity. Behind a living person and a dead person, there is awareness. Awareness cannot leave even a dead body. See, I can't believe that there is electricity behind the bulb with the light and fuse bulb. How it is possible? Then why we can't see there? I want explanation. We don't give explanation, we give experience. Then what is to be done? Take out that fuse bulb and put your fingers. And get the experience. There is electricity even behind the fuse bulb, isn't it? Then what was the problem? Problem was that bulb had no capacity to allow the electrical energy to express as light. So it was not the fault of the electricity, it was the something lacking in the bulb. In the same manner, when a person dies, nothing happens to the awareness, the consciousness. See? And when one bulb becomes fused, the light in that bulb will come out like a jiva. In the picture you must have seen, they take out one Bunsen burner flame. And the flame is going in search of another body. And then it enters the body and dumb. See, friends, one of the most important and most difficult thing on the spiritual path is to give up the notion that we are a soul. See, there's two things we have to discard. One is the body identification, Dehatma Bhav. I had one Punjabi girl in Calcutta. She was staying with me. And Punjabi, they speak a very typical, Hindi. Where there is a Jodakshar, they will make Todakshar, there is Todakshar and Jodakshar. They cannot pronounce the conjunct consonants. Like, station, they will say Satation. Now there is no reason why it is Satation. So, she was explaining the other girl, and the other girl could not understand. So she came to me. Swamiji, see, I am trying to explain, but she doesn't understand. And what did you explain? See, I told her, Dehatam Bhav. So she said, what is the Dehatam Bhav, Dehatam Bhav? See, Swamiji told Dehatam Bhav. So actually it was Dehatma Bhav, so Dehatam Bhav. Now who will understand that Dehatam Bhav? See, these are the two problems. One is Dehatma Bhava and second is Jivatma Bhava. When these two things are discarded, we are established in the truth. See? And for that, we have to very clearly understand cause and effect is an illusion. Cause and effect is valid only when the mind is functional. When the mind is non-functional, cause and effect disappears. See? Therefore, nimittam manaschakshuradi pravruttau. So it is because of whom the eyes have the vision, because of whom the mind has the thinking ability. See, the electricity says, it is me because of whom the bulb has the light, or the heater has the heat, or the radio has the noise. See? But when these gadgets are removed, there is no loss to the electricity. See, when one bulb becomes fused, nothing happens to electricity, nor the basic principle that electrical energy expresses through the bulb as light. This principle does not get corrupted or influenced if one bulb becomes fused. In the same manner, if I die here, nothing will happen to the awareness, nor will anything happen to you other than your problem, how to dispose of this fellow. See, friends, therefore, nimittam manaschakshuradi pravruttau nirastha khilopadhi akashakalpaha. And when all the conditionings are rejected, then what I am? Now go back to electricity. Can we explain electricity as light? Light is a manifestation of electricity. Only in electricity there is no light. Only in bulb there is no light. Then what happens? Under a particular condition, when the bulb is attached to the electricity, then only the light happens. So light is a manifestation of electricity. It is not electricity. See, friends, the light that we are seeing here, sunlight we call it, it is wrong. It is a daylight. It is not sunlight. What we see is only the reflected light. In deep into the space, where there is nothing to reflect, there is absolute darkness, because sunlight is dark. Sunlight has no light. When it falls on a particular thing, then it is reflected, and the reflected light is alone seen by us. Sunlight nobody can see. See, friends, in the same manner, what we see is only this, that nirastha khilopadhi akasha kalpaha. So if we want to understand electricity, we will fail to understand electricity if we use the measurements of light as the criteria for understanding electricity, no. Nor the measurement of heat or sound or amplification. None of them can be applied to understand electricity, because they are only the manifestation through a particular conditioning. See? Therefore, nirastha akhila upadhi, when all the conditionings are removed. How will you know whether there is electric current in the wire or not if there is no bulb, if there is no gadget attached to it? We won't know. How about if I touch? That will be called a nijabodha rupaha. You will have the direct experience. See? Now be very attentive. The electrical energy is recognized only through its manifestation, is it not? If there is no manifestation, electrical energy cannot be recognized as present or not present. In the same manner, this conscious existence, Chetana Satta, when it is manifesting through the eyes as vision, etc., then only we say he is alive. Therefore, life is an expression of the awareness. And when life departs, nothing happens to the awareness. Like when one bulb becomes fused, nothing happens to electricity. See, friends, will we say there are many lights? Yes, if our attention is on the bulbs. But light as a principle is the same. See, it is not in China there is a communist electricity. And in India there is a democratic electricity. No. In the same manner, it is but one awareness. One gadget is man, masculine qualities will come out. Other gadget is woman, feminine qualities will come out. Third gadget is a cow, milk will come out. Fourth gadget is a cobra, the poison will come out. These are the different gadgets attached to this absolute awareness, and what is expressing is the gadget and the ability of that gadget that is expressing, and not electricity. See, friends, this is our essential nature. See, now go more and more deeper and deeper in your understanding. Our mind alone expresses through the eyes as vision, is it not? Is there a second mind which is expressing through the ears as hearing ability? No. One mind expressing through the eyes becomes vision. The same mind expressing through the ears becomes hearing ability. The same mind expressing through the tongue becomes speech. And therefore, all these differences, they are differences on account of the gadgets. See? And will the mind have a biasness towards any one of them? Mind will be same, whether it is for the eyes or for the ears or for the nose. And if the eyes become blind, anything happens to mind? Nothing happens to mind. So when we start recognizing this principle, that mind is an expression of the absolute conscious reality through all the bodies. So like within one body, one mind becomes 5 sense organs. In the same manner, one conscious existence becomes man, woman, animal, plant. And when we start living as the conscious existence, like mind has no favor for any sense organs, in the same manner, the great masters living as conscious existence, for them nobody is friend, nobody is enemy. Name dveshosti na priyaha, Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita. Nijabodha rupaha. See? Akasha kalpaha. Like the space. This is one example given in our scriptures. Like the space means what? There are many things to contemplate upon. First, like the space means what? Space supports earth, water, fire and air. But space is not influenced by any one of them. See? Mind supports all the sense organs. When the eyes start becoming not proper functioning, nothing happens to the mind. Mind only tells, this eye is not functioning properly, apply chashma. Nothing happens to mind. In the same manner, when we start living as consciousness, the quality of our life changes. And what is the change in the quality? The change in the quality is freedom from the load of attachment. Then we look upon the children as a child, not my child. See? What do we give to our children other than the gross body? See? Therefore, friends, Akashakalpaha, like the space supports everything, but not influenced by anything. Space doesn't have any shape, any form, any beginning, any center, any end. Now play. Meditation, meditation. Don't struggle. Play. What it is like being space. Don't start the wrong way. I am a space, I am a space. Then you are a space only in the head, not real one. Remove that I. So what it is like being a space? Now play. First thing, I have no form. So play. How it is like being formless? See? Akashakalpaha. The other day, somewhere I was watching the aquarium, and the other person asked me, Swamiji, are you interested in fish? I can tell you about them. I said, no, I am not interested in fish. I am not a fishy person. Then I said, I am trying to experience what the water must be experiencing. When the fish moves inside the water, up and down, eats something, defecates, what happens to the water? When there are 5 more fish added, do the water or does the water is always used as plural if you know. Therefore I said do. Do the water feel the load of the fish? Or when the fishes are removed, will the water feel lonely? Arey, kahan gaya? Think. That to which addition and subtraction is equal is called as absolute. Abiding in that absolute awareness is possible for every one of us because we are that. There is no struggle. The moment struggle begins, we are away from our real nature. See? Akashakalpaha. When you start playing this, that space, like, means being what? You know what will happen? The gross world will stop disturbing you. See? Then you start working on space. Then the question is, if the world is in the space, and the space is untouched by the world, so the contents are not disturbing the container, the space, agreed. Now the question is, where is the space? Next step, automatically will come. Then you will come to know, space is nothing but a projection of the mind. When the mind is enfolded in deep sleep, where are you? In Australia or in South Africa? Where disappears the moment the mind is enfolded. So we go from the space to the mind. And then when we come to the mind, then in the mind what are the contents? The thoughts. Now there also go to the mental space. Mental space is that one which does not get influenced by any thought. Good thought comes in the mind, bad thought comes in the mind. But mind is not influenced by them. And when we come to the mind, not to the thought, normally we are caught up in the thoughts. When we come really to the mind, then slowly, slowly, the thoughts start disappearing. Because you are not nurturing the thoughts. You are not giving any value to the thoughts, positive or negative value. And slowly, with proper understanding and experience, we come to a point wherein the thoughts, their presence and absence becomes equal. Then we will not struggle like in yoga. Chitta vritti nirodha yoga. Don't bother. Let there be thoughts come and go. Who cares? See? No thought will disturb us. Let there be good or bad thought. How does it matter? Will the space ever struggle? There should not be tsunami? No. Let it come and go. Who cares? And in this manner, we discover not thoughtlessness, but we discover freedom from the influence of thoughts. And when we are no more influenced by the thoughts, then we come to recognize what is the meaning of the Chidakash. So from the gross space, we have come to the mental space. From the mental space, we have come to the conscious space. Chidakasha rupa shivoham shivoham. Now what is the Chidakasha? Chidakasha is that conscious space where the clouds of the waking, the dream, the deep sleep, they come and go. But this conscious space is never added with if there is a waking experience or a dream experience. And there is no loss experience when there is a deep sleep experience. So all these experiences come and go, but the conscious space remains untouched. See, Akasha Kalpaha. So what is all our spiritual practice? Is only Nirastao Khila Upadhi. We have to give up the Upadhi. See, and what is the Upadhi? Upadhi is Adhi means disease. Upa means near. When you remain near to something, and if a disease condition comes, it is called as Upadhi. So you remain near to your wife, wife is your Upadhi, a disease condition is called as husband. The son is Upadhi, be a father, you will be a miserable person in this world. See, friends, therefore, again and again, we have to go step by step. Akasha Kalpaha. Play this. And who can play this? He who has courage, ability, and the will to discard all the upadhis. When we are all the time buried under the load of the same relative existence. See, husband is like that, wife is like that, children are like that. Swamiji, what should I do? When you got married, that time you asked me. What should I do? One place in Bombay, they got, this one young couple, they brought the son's parents brought him. Swamiji, please give them some advice. They are married yesterday only, you could not come, we know, therefore we have come to take your blessings. Please give them advice. I said, it is too late. Advice I would have given them before marriage. Now, I said, I can only pray. See, we have to very specifically, consciously, distinctly recognize that this world has always been like this. There is nothing worth wasting our opportunity after these all useless things called as relatives. See? Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Gatavati vayu deha paye bharya bibhyati tasmin kaye. When somebody dies, nobody wants to look at it, finish it off quickly. Let us not keep, waiting. Why? We want to go for a movie. Therefore, friends, nirastha khilopadhira akasha kalpa ravir loka cheshta nimittam yathayaha. Now another example given. Like when the sun rises, the whole world becomes active. The sun doesn't tell anybody, do this, do this, do this. The world becomes active in his very presence. In the same manner, the one in whose presence this Prakriti starts vibrating. See, in the 9th chapter, Bhagavan says, Maya dhakshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagat viparivartate. It is only in my presidentship that the whole matter is enlivened. See? Like the sun, in his presence, the whole world becomes enlivened. Without he getting involved in the world. See? In the same manner. It is in this presence of this absolute awareness. Presence of absolute awareness is the wrong statement, but there is no way. Absolute awareness itself is the presence. It is not the presence of, like presence of camera. It is not like that. Presence and object are separate from each other. So this presence itself gives us the absolute bliss that we are. See? There is no struggle. This one principle you recognize, please. Whenever we are struggling, whenever we have to put efforts in any field, we are going the wrong way. If bringing up your children, if you are struggling and suffering, you are going the wrong way. Very clear. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, when we were children, we used to be very obedient to our parents and all that. But today's children, they don't listen to us. What is the reason? I said, the reason is very simple. We had very good parents. Our children are unfortunate. They have dumb parents. And therefore they are behaving like this thing. Therefore, friends, focus attention on this. Ravihi loka cheshta nimittam yathayaha sa nityopalabdhi swarupoham atma. Now this will be the refrain in all the verses subsequently. Now this one we have to very deeply understand. That nitya upalabdhi, that which is ever available. Nitya upalabdhi. What is that which is ever available? Now instead of taking the mala in the hand, ram, 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 or doing the pranayam and all kinds of animal asana. You have seen in yogasana, there is every animal asana only. You know, ushtrasan, bhujangasan, kurmasan, and there is no human asana. Swamiji, you don't know, there is one asana. What is that? Shavasana. How long are we going to cheat ourselves? Enough of that, enough. See? Now here, nitya upalabdhi, recognize what is that which is never leaving us. In Kenopanishad, in his commentary, Bhagavan Shankara says, the truth is, aheyam anupadeyam. Aheyam, that which cannot be rejected. Now find out what we reject. We reject all our relations. Then we reject the whole world. Then we reject the I, the waker, the husband, wife, brother, sister, everything. And then this whole waking state is rejected. Then the dream cinema starts. Then that is also rejected. Then deep sleep starts. That is also rejected. Then the samadhi starts. That also ends. But there is one factor which we cannot reject. Reach that point which cannot be rejected, that thou art. Nityopalabdhi, ever available to us. See? So Nityopalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. That is my essential nature. Friends, if we lead our life intelligently, we will never become miserable. The problem with us, we are intelligent, but we are leading our life intellectually. Intellectual people are intelligently miserable. See? Lead life intelligently. Now what is the intelligent living? Intelligent living is this. When we complain that whenever I sit for meditation, Swamiji, very bad and dirty and disturbing thoughts come. What is the reason? Meditation. Did it happen to you? Every day it happens. Why? For getting dirty thoughts, I don't have to sit for meditation. They come back. See, friends, instead of complaining about this, find out to whom the thoughts are coming. You will come to discover the moment you become a mother, the children's thought will start disturbing you. The moment you become a father, your children will sit on your head. The moment you become wife, I have no experience. So you are well informed. See? And in deep sleep, when we are nobody, no thoughts. So what is the culprit? Culprit is we become somebody. So what should be the sadhana? Unbecome. See, meditation is not doing something. It is undoing all what we have done. It is not becoming somebody. Earlier, I used to get up very late, 10 o'clock. Since I started yoga, I get up at 9:45. What is happening? Spiritual. Earlier, I used to eat every day non-vegetarian. But since Swamiji, I heard you, I have reduced. But you are the same fat. No, reduce taking food, non-vegetarian, every day I don't eat. I eat now alternate day. This is all dumb observation, friends. Therefore, Nityopalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. Hold on to this statement. That which is ever eternally available to us is our real nature. See, don't get bothered too much about your kids. What your parents have done when you left them and came here, the same will be repeated with you. There is nothing new that is happening in this world. See? The only purpose of our life is to realize the truth. Everything else should and must wait. Things will take their own course. But we have that wrong notion. This is my responsibility. There is nothing like responsibility. It is only worshipping one's own ego. Nothing else. If the same child comes out to be a drug and trafficker and all kinds of things, immediately the father refuses to, you are dead for me, I am dead for you. Hindi cinema, tu mere liye mar gaya, main tere liye mar gaya. And then there is a staircase there. I don't know why. And you go tak. Dad, these are all the things you must study. So, Nityopalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. Now, when you have to talk about flowers, you have got 5 attributes. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. 5 qualities. If you have to talk about the water, the Gandha, the smell goes. If you have to talk about the fire, the taste and the smell both goes. That is why in Udupi hotels, they give you very hot rasam and sambar, so your mouth burns and there is no problem of taste. There is no taste in the fire. And when you come to the air, even the color and the form goes away. And when you come to the space, even the touch goes away. And the space is an expression of the mind. Therefore, mind doesn't have any of these five qualities, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. And this mind is an expression of the absolute conscious reality. Where you will have any data to understand this? Nityopalabdhi Swarupoham Atma. Our presence is only an experience, it cannot be described. See? It cannot be described. Extension of this experience in and through all the activities of life is called as living in meditation. Not struggling to do meditation. Then it doesn't matter what pose you are, what posture you are. Yogarato va bhogarato va sangarato va sangavihinaha yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati anandati eva. This bliss can never be corrupted. Sa nityopalabdhi swarupoham atma. It is we who are rejecting the presence. We are doubting because we are under the influence of the thoughts, the desires, the relativity. Now this great Hastamalaka, he had none of this problem. Therefore for him, it was a problem for the wise people and it is a problem for the otherwise people also. For the wise people it is a problem. Why these people can't experience it? It is so straight, man. And for the otherwise people, I don't know how these people are so happy. See? They have no wife, no children, no car, no bekar, and yet they are extremely happy. Bekar means two cars in Gujarati. See? Once we recognize this principle, friends, then thereafter play the game of life. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.